Hey guys. So there's a problem in the PPD community where it's really hard to get a grasp on basically anything because of translation issues or just lack of tutorials or anything in English, honestly. So I thought that I would make one because I think we really need one, and it'll be a couple of videos, each on a different topic of the PPD editor, and I'll make a playlist and everything. So this one is just going to be the very beginning, like how to even get the PPD editor and everything. So you're obviously going to be downloading and installing PPD, which already comes with the PPD editor, but it won't be it won't have a shortcut right away, just like the PPD itself. So what you'll have to do is go into its file, which is marked as KHC, should be in your local disk, and then PPD, and then scroll down, and there's PPD. You can just make a desktop shortcut by right-clicking and sending it to desktop. And then there's also PPD editor right there. So do the same thing so that you'll have it on your desktop, and then open it up. Mine is minimized because I like to watch videos and stuff while I do my charts. So let me just fix that real quick to get it more adjusted. So yours is going to look a lot different than mine if you're just opening it up without doing anything to it, because I used Blizen's like whole pack of everything that he's edited in the editor itself, and like there's different pictures for down in the timeline here, and you won't have this red outline square or anything, and some of the settings are different. But everything can be found in our Discord, which is always linked in my description, and there's a lot of us in there, and they're really great people, and it's really, really cool. You can find everything easily right there, or ask for help if you need it. But shout out to Blizen, he's awesome. So yours will look different, but you can have everything the same way that mine is. You just, everything, everything is in the Discord. So yeah, start up the editor, and this is how you actually get started on making a song. You go to File, New Project, and right here you can choose from making just a basic score without any sliders. This will just be like holds and multi-notes and stuff like that. Or one with sliders, or a normal score, and this is like the original PPD stuff where there's like down, left, up, right, and like L and R. I think that's the same as what the sliders normally are. I've never played a score like it before, but you don't need the ones with the scripts. All that you do is just set it like that, double click it. You're going to need a movie to put in, so you're going to have to download the MP4 off of YouTube of whatever song that you want, because basically what this is doing is putting the game engine over an MP4 file, and all that you're doing is syncing the note system to the audio of the MP4 file, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll use an example one. Okay, so I loaded in Kokatsu by Marutu, which I've already done. And then you need to name it, so I'm just gonna name it something, whatever. Name the project. Okay. And you know that you did everything right because there's nothing next to the OK. And all you do is hit OK. And you can see that now the symbols down here have changed to where they're only triangle, square, circle, X, and then the slider notes. So, to make sure that you've loaded the video file correctly, click on the game window, which is just going to be the black screen, and press the space button. And if you start hearing music or your video starts playing, you know that you've done it correctly. So after that, you need to find out the song's BPM, beats per minute, or you can, there is a thingy, I think it's in here, BPM measure. I don't use it though because it makes my editor crash. I don't know why, but it might happen for you too, so I wouldn't recommend using it. You can just like type in find BPM into Google and use a website, because it's super easy. And then just tap to the beat. And then up here, this first one, even if you hover over it, it says BPM. So if you edit that and put like 220, the timeline is going to move much faster, obviously. So that's that one. This is BPM offset. I'll talk about that one after this one. Display width is the display width between each of these black lines on the timeline. So it's at 240 now, and if I reduce that, it looks really weird. So if I set it at 880, this is a lot more easy to work with. It's not going as fast, but I can still see the notes spaced out whenever I place them. And to place notes, all that you do is double tap, or double click rather, on any of the available notes, which will put a black dot on, which means that there is a note on that timeline now. Like so. So up here, or wait, I was going to do this. BPM offset is so basically, if you have the right BPM but the timeline still seems a little bit off, what you do is you go into here and you just set like a value. I usually do 20 or 30 just to like see how things are. Like if let's see, if I have this string of notes, watch the timeline whenever I put in 30. It moves it forward. So 30 is pushing, or a positive value is pushing the timeline further, whereas a negative is pushing the timeline further behind. So this is just an easy way to sync, just to make sure that it's completely in sync and everything. Okay, sorry, I had to cut it because the editor crashed on me. Sometimes it just, I don't know, it crashes randomly only sometimes, or if you change something, it crashes for me. I don't know if it crashes for other people, whatever, it's difficult. So, like I was saying, this is already a pre-made of relationship scramble that I've done. So you can see these notes are completely in sync and everything. I didn't have to offset it because they were already in sync with just the 150 BPM. But if I were to put in 30, it is pushing these black lines further away from the black dots, which are the notes. If you have to do that, instead of deleting all of them and replacing the notes, go up to Edit, Force Marks to Fit on Lines, and then click Entire Selected Layer. And that will put every single note that you've put down in the correct spot, so that it's much more convenient, you know? But yeah, so that is how you get started with like actually making the files and everything that you need. Placing notes, I already talked about that. Multi-notes, you just put them in a vertical line. At the same time, to make hold notes, what you do is put another note after the note that you want to be a hold note. It doesn't matter the distance or anything, and you highlight over it and hold Control and press F. That's a hold note, and you'll see because it's marked as orange, and it will stay an orange line until either it completes, where it is here, where you would get your bonus and everything, or if there was a note of the same type, it'll stop the hold bonus, obviously. So yeah, that's how you do hold notes. Trying to think. Oh, up here we have the beat settings that you can do for the timeline. So fourth beat obviously displays less lines, and you can go up to 30-second beat, which is a lot of lines. Usually you don't need to do that, but faster songs usually need 16th, but 8th is always a really good place to start. Some songs are in 12th beat, so they have that as well. Quadruple meter is nothing really important. You can just keep this as quadruple, keep this all the same. You're going to want to, these three are not going to be activated. So this is making it so that whenever you click on an icon, or a note rather, it's going to shift the timeline in a spot where you see as soon as it starts appearing on the screen. So like right here, that circle's coming in, it automatically shifts. So it's very convenient. This is the graph, the graph, or grid actually. 20 picks is always the one to use. 50 picks is really weird. I don't see like ever being a use for it. But just stick with 20 picks and note spacing will be completely fine. This just keeps your timeline settings in order, and all of this will automatically get changed with the stuff from Blizzin that's in the Discord. Just makes it really nice and organized and not so like random everywhere. This is the position and angle loader saver. So this is not included. These are all custom made by Blizzin. This shows you templates for where certain notes need to be. Like we got quads and multis and all that stuff. It's really, really great. Even got some like sliders and even a shape, a circle. So that's great. And then if you highlight display angle, it shows you in red the angle that you need to make for the note to come down, which is also really great. So let's say you've placed a note and you see that it's there on the grid. To move it, all you do is highlight over it. You'll see it turns yellow. Just click and drag. You can drag it anywhere. This red line is a limit. So if I place it outside the limit, this is not a good place to place a note, simply because the angle that you put it at would be kind of hard to see as it falls in. So just try to stick to this square, and it'll be a comfortable chart. Angles, all that you do is click anywhere around and you'll see a blue line. And you can do that, set it however you want. I like to use control because it keeps it changing at 15 degrees each time. So that like if I do it 3 times, I'm at the corner of the square that the note is in. Like here's another corner, another corner. It's really, really convenient. I don't recommend just using this unless it's for something specific. But yeah, that's really, really cool. Just use control and have it at the right angle that you need. If you want to decrease time and that it takes so that you're not like clicking on a note and then doing the angle and clicking on the note, doing the angle, you can just simply highlight whatever notes you want to, and then they will all be in the same exact angle as the rest. So that's really great. What else? Oh, setting file manager. This is very, very important. So in order to actually test out your song, you have to go to game, and you could do current time from the beginning or have it either one of those do it automatically, just so that you can see how. it looks, or if you're synced up or anything. Connect needs to be on so that it displays the little connect image in between multi-notes. And then mod is, you can set mods to have while you're testing out your song. So, you know, have all of your mods set up so that it looks how it would if you were playing PPD. But in order to actually try out your song, you need to go to end time over here and go to the very end of the song, or wherever you want the song to end, and click on that little down arrow and just click read from timeline. That's the easiest way to do it instead of punching in numbers or something. But that will basically tell the editor where it's starting from, which is 0, and then when to end, because all that it'll do is take you to the results screen if you don't have this stuff set, because it doesn't know where to start or to end. So that's important. Start time of thumb. This is where, like, the part of the video or the part of the song is going to be playing whenever you're highlighting over it in song selection in PPD. So this can all be custom, like whatever you want to do. Same thing, read from timeline. Easiest way, start and end. Difficulty, this is easy as well. Just, you know, type in the value, whatever you do. We use little star icons just because of the PPD skin that got released. It's pretty cool. BPM, this is important as well. Properties are just like the properties of each individual note, and like their angles and everything, what time they come in, all that stuff. Oh, here we go, events. Okay, so this is the last thing that I really need to talk about for this video, at least. Events are pretty cool, but they're a little bit hard to understand. So let's see. I needed to add events in this one because there are BPM changes where the song needs to speed up because it gets more intense. So here it is at 150, and then about here is where it changes. You see that it skipped from the first one to the second one in this little box here. So right here, this little E down here is where I added in the event. So once I was there, you add event, go to others, and then this is how you change the BPM. So this is before, and then this would be afterwards. So I changed that one from 150 to 270. You can do a bunch of stuff here, like sudden or hidden, make the target stop moving and then start moving again, change the size of the slides. You can do a bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool. There was one thing about changing BPM through events, though, is that it acts differently than if you use scripts, which I'll make another video about scripts in the series. But so if it looks weird whenever you first try it out, it's fine. That's how it's supposed to look. It's a bit odd. But yeah, this is how you basically just get started. It's really easy and simple. It looks like a lot whenever you start out, but I promise you, once you start getting the hang of things, it's so easy, and it's actually a lot of fun to do. I've made a lot of charts, but my first charts that I made were really, really bad because I didn't understand any positions or like angles that I needed to do, and I'm still working on trying to make quality charts, but I've been getting better with people's help and everything. So our Discord group is a really, really good idea. If you're new to PPD, definitely join it, because we have so much people and resources that you need. But yeah, so that's it for this video on how to start it. I'm not sure how many videos I'll have in this series, but we'll see. So yeah, thank you for watching this one, and thank you for continuing to watch if you do.